Здравствуйте, привет из Minsk. Как твоя выходные? Guys, good afternoon. It's a Saturday afternoon. It's the 29th of February, the leap year. Welcome from Minsk. Good afternoon. Now, I want to address a question that I often get asked. And it's a question that's very, very difficult to answer. It is, will I ever return to Ireland? Do I want to stay here in Belarus forever? And in order for me to try and answer this question, I have to address a number of points, to say the least. And this is a very difficult question, and I'm going to go through different of the various points. Okay, so will I ever return back home? And do I miss Ireland? And the fact of the matter is, guys, yes, I do. I do get homesick, you know, I do miss home. And every now and again I think of my friends, my family, my football team, and my life that I had back in Ireland. Yeah, homesickness is a part and parcel of living and working away from home. But Ireland is the country that has made me for what I am. Now, I might come across as being blunt, direct, and self-confident. And to some people, that might mean arrogance and so on, but it is who I am, and that is who I am, you know. Now, has Belarus actually changed me, living and working here in Belarus? And I have to say, yes, it has. Living and working here in Belarus has broadened my mind, it has opened my mind, and has made me a lot more interested in politics and what is happening across the world, what is happening especially here in this part of the world. So, what was it like for me to make that move from Ireland to Belarus? And I have to say, when you move, or for anybody, if you move from one country to another, you have to start all over again. I mean, what we mean by this is like family. You leave behind your family, your friends, your social circle, and you come to this country, you're on your own. You know absolutely nobody, and you have to build, you have to start from scratch again. So for me, that has been the most difficult part of the journey coming here. Okay, now in relation to assimilation and integration, okay, I speak Russian, I'm learning Russian, but at the end of the day, guys, you will always be seen as an outsider, unless if I have kids here. They might probably be seen as one of the locals if I marry a local woman. However, for me, I will always be seen as the outsider. Doesn't matter if I'm here for 10, 20, 30 years, the rest of my life. I will always be that kind of person on the outside. And that is one thing that is actually playing in the back of my mind. So, in relation to moving back home, is it going to happen? Well, since I've moved away from home, guys, you know, I've actually appreciated, you know, more of who I am and what I am, and you know, it has made me a lot more conscious of well, my own culture, as well as opening up to completely new and different culture. Now, I know that my own country has faults, many ills. There's a lot of ills, a lot of social problems, faults, homelessness. We have a situation back home where, you know, and I've explained it to you before, about how young people cannot buy a house or simply are priced out of the rental market. That is a big problem. And for me then, yeah, my viewpoint for back home of Ireland has actually changed. It has. So, what's going to happen back home? I'm actually an optimistic person. Unlike a lot of people here tend to be very pessimistic, I am optimistic. I do believe that a change will happen, and that change will come within the next 10 to 15 years. And what I mean by that is the recent elections in Ireland has actually, you know, it has given me a sense of hope, you know, with Sinn Féin doing so well, and that is, you know, it has swept away the old political class, what it's trying to, and it's threatening to do that. And as the older generation are dying off, you know, the boomer generation, the 1940s and 50s, who voted for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael repeatedly for the last 50, 60 years, when they die off, I think things are going to change, and they're going to change for the better. You could say the same thing here in Belarus. Things are going to change as the older Soviet generation die off, and as more and more young people come of age. And that definitely is the case here, and it is going to happen. So it's kind of hard to say, guys. It's kind of hard to predict the future of when and if I ever do go back home. You know, I can't foretell the future. I cannot say for certain when, but it's an interesting question, and it is a very difficult question to answer as such. But in saying that, guys, I love my country. I'm proud of my country. I'm very conscious of who I am and where I am from. So yeah, I knew when I was moving here that there was going to be a trade-off. I'd lose my friends, lose the social circle, and, you know, lose that, the crack, and so on. But I was going to gain many other different things, other aspects of coming and living here. So, what's it like to be the only Irish person in Belarus? Well, I will be honest about this. When you say to people I'm from Ireland, it's like, indifferent. Who knows? Who cares? And that's, of course, it is. You know, it's self-conscious. I know that, and I know that is the fact. So it's been a good thing, and it's been a bad thing. But overall, living and working from home, do you recommend it? Do you think you should do it? Definitely. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it came from me twice. First time when I was a student in Bulgaria, and now the second time here. So, all in all, when you add it up, the pluses outweigh the negatives. So yeah, I'm proud, guys. I'm a proud Irishman. I'm proud of my culture, proud of my family. I'm proud of who I am and where I am. So, will I be back home? Maybe one day, maybe not. Who can tell? Who can predict the future? There you go. So, on that, guys, enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'll see you around sometime soon. Do svidania. До встречи.
По щеке твоей скатилась одинокая слеза, в глазах влюбленные и томимые разлукою. По щеке твоей скатилась одинокая слеза. По щеке твоей скатилась одинокая слеза.